welcome to the Scene World podcast. Hey, hey.
Sup, word, hey.
Hey.
Hi.
It's us.
Three
It's
people here.
the podcast that is a podcast about the scene.
Exactly. About anything scene related, actually.
About the
gaming scene, music scene,
The
action scene. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. With us today, Dennis, AJ, me.
Woo.
Ooh.
All of us. It's a rare triple header here.
Ooh. We had that once, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, well, in a minute, I will be talking to Joanne, who's also known as JowyBear, and she is a South African in Cape Town streamer. She streams PUBG mainly, and
Okay.
also sometimes other games, and
Center yourself.
also has a drawing stream.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very,
Yeah.
very nice. Fast.
Yeah, and that's, as AJ said, will be the center of our interview.
Yes.
Exactly. But before that, we have some news, and I wrote some down. Well, Crystal Herring, who works for Twitch, who we also interviewed a couple of times
Yeah.
at Scene World, she just announced on Twitter that this year there are 2 new locations for TwitchCon,
Okay.
and one of them, let's see, if I'm not mistaken, was Paris. Yes, the 8th and 9th of July, and the second location is Las Vegas on the 20th to 22nd of October.
Okay.
So, nice locations.
Yeah.
So let's go down to Las Vegas and have some fun.
Yeah.
Totally,
Exactly. Totally.
Yeah. Last year they have been in the Netherlands, Amsterdam, if I'm not mistaken. That was quite nice. A lot of German Twitch streamers and also other Twitch streamers streamed from the event.
It's a quite huge jump from Amsterdam to Vegas, actually. So
Yeah.
why not? Sounds interesting.
Also Paris, getting
Yes.
some baguettes and stuff.
I think I prefer Vegas to gambling.
Croissant
Yeah. You can get baguettes in Vegas, I'm sure.
and French croissant. Well, other news. Tetris is not coming to the movies. It's instead being exclusive for Apple TV Plus.
Okay. I did see that. I did see that Tetris was being made into a movie, and
Yep.
I was initially curious about how they were going to do that, and then I realized it was more about getting Tetris made, or getting it, because it was a Russian game and it was during the Cold War, so
Exactly.
getting it, to the U.S. and Europe and whatnot. But yeah, my initial thought was like, oh, it's a it's like that the Super Mario Brothers movie with
No,
Bob
it's
Hoskins,
more-
except with Tetris.
No, it's more like an action movie.
Yeah.
It's actually based on a true story,
well, yeah,
but it's not as risky in real life.
yeah.
I mean, I did interview Alexei Pajitnov, the inventor of Tetris, and his story didn't sound as adventurous as the movie trailer makes it look like.
Well, for him it wasn't. It was probably for the other people that were trying to do this. Like he was just the guy that made the thing.
I thought it was a movie about blocks. Just about blocks could be a
Yeah,
nice.
exactly. Yeah, that would be just
Nice,
a bunch of
interesting animation movie probably sometime. Just blocks and some.
yeah,
some shots.
just a bunch of like A-tier actors
Yeah.
just dressed in cardboard boxes bumping into each other.
Yeah. Maybe they make something like this in the future.
They should. They really should. I think that's the live action adaptation of Tetris that we're looking for.
And actually, there's a second movie being made, and that's Pinball, the man who saved the game.
Okay.
There's also a trailer and I will also link to that.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, in our last podcast, we interviewed Julia Minamata, and shortly after we released the podcast episode, she actually made an updated demo of their Crimson Diamond.
Oh.
So, which is also the first chapter. So, well, enjoy playing it again because you can't take over your old save games.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's a disadvantage of the AGS, the adventure game system.
Right.
They don't allow that.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, and going from action to an action-related topic, the web hoster GoDaddy was hacked again. Yay!
Oh, what else is new? What else is new? This is the Yeah.
Again and again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else is new?
Well, what else is new? I can tell you.
No. Well, yeah. Have you guys, speaking of adaptations of video games, have any of you been watching The Last of Us?
Not me.
Didn't watch it now, but I think I should do because a lot of people say it's pretty good.
It is incredibly depressing.
Yeah.
Very well acted. Apparently, it is a very solid adaptation of the actual game.
Okay.
Now, this is coming from a dude who has not played the game, so I don't know. And having watched the TV show, I'm not entirely certain that I want to play the game because I just feel like it'll ruin my week.
Oh.
You know, because it's like it's just the most depressing. And hearing other people talk about it, it's like it's not like there isn't a happy ending, I guess.
Wow.
I don't know, but yeah, I think at the time that we're recording this, there is one episode left. So we just the episode 8 just came out yesterday, and then the season finale rather is next week. And I don't know exactly how that. Well, I don't know how it ends because I haven't played the game. I should probably look the game up and look at the plot points to see where it's going, but not doing that.
Well,
exciting things though is that Jörg gets to watch Picard now.
That's true because Paramount Plus Germany.
Yes.
Now got the season 3 of Picard.
Yeah. What are you thinking of this one so far?
Very good.
I am digging this. I was not prepared.
Better than the first 2.
Oh, good lord, yeah. And I was not prepared for the reveal of the bad guys, like who they were.
Don't tell me because I didn't watch it yet all.
Okay, yeah. So you haven't seen episode 3?
Not completely.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it'll be. Oh, it's cool.
Okay, well, the thing is, it used to be an Amazon Germany Prime exclusive, but I don't have a Prime subscription, so now, as I told you earlier, when I said that Paramount Plus is coming to Germany, I was suspecting that the 3rd season wouldn't be shown at Amazon Prime Germany.
Right.
Which is exactly what they did.
Yeah.
So.
Now they're talking also about cutting back on the Star Trek shows.
Cutting back?
Yeah, Paramount. They showed their I guess like their upcoming schedule of shows for the next year or two, and Star Trek was not among that.
That doesn't make sense because they started Strange New World.
Well, we're getting another season of that. They're saying possibly that this next season of Discovery will be the last one because they want to cut spending on streaming services. They want to go.
That doesn't make sense because they invested more.
Well, I think what they want to do really is go back to the traditional television thing. Paramount kind of got dragged Paramount was really dragged kicking and screaming into the whole thing. They really did not want to do this. And then and
in Germany, traditional TV has no future.
No, here either. Here it's a stupid move to I mean, it's a stupid move as far as revenue and everything else because nobody I know watches TV. It's
my parents do.
Yeah. I mean, I know some people that have it on, but it's usually on for for
no. I mean,
they
actively sit on the TV waiting for it to show, and then watch the program.
Ugh.
The older generation, 60 plus, is still active using linear TV.
Yeah. Yes, but that if you're looking from a revenue standpoint, though, right? You've got your old model, which is you make your money from advertisers, whoever's going to advertise during the show, or you get money directly from the viewer in the form of a subscription model.
I mean, what we have here in Germany is similar. Also, we have that in Italy and UK. We have something called Sky.
Yeah.
Which is still owned by Comcast in America, but they are trying to sell it away.
Yeah.
And what they offer is you have different packages.
Mm-hmm.
That means I got my Sky subscription, but also have Netflix as a package and Paramount Plus as a package. This way I get it cheaper. And I don't have to subscribe to hundreds of services at once with different billings.
Right.
I can just go over with Sky.
Yeah.
That's what we have over here. And
I don't know if that works. If it works like that over here. In fact, they just changed. I know that Paramount Plus just changed the billing to where I had the thing with no ads. Now it shows like 3 ads before the show starts, and usually it's an ad for the show that I'm already watching, which is the stupidest thing on the world.
No, they don't have promos like that.
Yeah, and if I want to pay an extra $4 or $5 a month, then I don't. There's no breaks. It's at the beginning of the show before the show starts.
No,
there is a lower tier that will put it in the show.
The way Paramount Plus works here in Germany is you can either subscribe it separately or as part of Amazon Prime Germany,
right, yeah,
or as part of Sky Germany.
And Peacock, which is similar, it's like it's another kind of Paramount sort of thing.
Well, what's it called?
Peacock.
Okay. Oh yeah, I heard of it, but
yeah. They've done that too, where you can watch a movie. It's weird because I was at work and somebody put on a Harry Potter movie, and I've never watched the Harry Potter movies, but we got into this, and it was weird because the movie's going through, and it breaks where there should be a commercial, but then it picks right back up because whatever tier they're paying for doesn't have commercials. But then in between movies, you get about 45 minutes of commercials.
Wow. Okay.
Before you can get to the next installment, you got to sit through all this nonsense.
Wow.
And again, it's usually for commercials for things that you're already watching. So it's it's a weird. But they're trying to cut spending on the streaming services.
I mean, the reason why I got Sky was, I guess that Dennis knows this too, is because they are the only way of watching Formula One in German.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh my God, they also have this Netflix package. So why should I pay separately for Netflix?
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
You can have it in your Sky subscription. And then they were like, oh, by the way, we are getting Paramount Plus too. I'm like, oh, wonderful, perfect, yeah. So this is how I got all those packages.
Yeah.
And also The Simpsons moved away from German television for the new seasons. You can only see it now on Disney Plus.
Are you missing anything with the Simpsons though? Because I mean, God, it's been around so long, and it's so
since '89 actually.
I know, and it's so not the thing it used to be. I haven't watched The
I still love
Simpsons
it.
I haven't watched that in, oh God, it's been probably 20 years since I last watched The Simpsons.
And Dennis is looking like, oh,
Yeah, he's like,
I never
I think
subscribed to any,
I think
any.
I only have Amazon Prime actually,
You
and
see?
I really like the selection at Amazon Prime because at least in Germany they have a lot of trash 80 movies.
Yeah,
It feels a little bit like going to a video store and renting some
I
B-movie
see. I
trash.
see.
And
yeah, yeah.
I love Amazon Prime for its selection, and it's actually the only service I have.
Wow.
And I think that's one of Paramount's kind of shortcomings is that, like, okay, Amazon Prime, you've got like all these different selections from all these different things.
Yeah.
Same thing with Netflix, you've got a lot of different stuff. HBO Max, you got a lot of different stuff. Paramount is working with Paramount's library. So you go
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
there and it's like there's Star Trek, and then there's Star Trek, and then you scroll down, there's some more Star Trek. And it's like
Yeah.
that's pretty much the entire channel. It's like they don't have much,
Or
or just like the
or
stuff that's on their TV channels, like
yeah,
on
well,
NBC.
they have some obscure things like naked dating Germany.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Uh-huh.
oh my God. I guess that must come from the Netherlands or from America or something.
We
It
had
must.
a show I don't know if it's still around, a couple of years ago, called Naked and Afraid, where they just take two strangers and they dump them in like a freaking jungle, just naked.
Yes, exactly.
with-
That's how.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
in this in naked dating Germany, they actually do it on an island,
Yeah, okay.
not
It
the
is
jungle.
it's the most asinine thing in these two. And I watched one episode, and it was like this dude is a survivalist. He's ready to go. He can manage this, and then he's put down there with this girl that is like, she like, makes like baskets or something. I don't know, something like really, like, you wouldn't think like she'd do good out there. Well, within one day, he is completely sunburned and unable to move. He eats a turtle and gets sick, and then like just has like diarrhea right outside his tent. And
Wow.
like she's holding she's weaving clothes together out of leaves and crap, and he's dying. She's doing everything.
Wow.
Sounds like a good story.
Yeah. And that was the only episode I watched of that. I'm like, I can't
Amazing.
see this. I can't watch
Yeah.
this nonsense.
Well, in the German trailer, you can actually see a couple having fun in bed. I'm like, oh my God. The thing is, here in Germany, at certain services and certain times, we don't have censorship like you have in America for such stuff.
Yeah.
We don't have that. So, anyway, not dragging too much into pay TV.
No one's afraid of the nipple like the U.S. is.
Exactly. Well, anyway, more news from games. Well,
Yes.
we had Jerry Ellsworth as a guest from
Yes, we
Tilt
did.
5, and they released Taken Co., a virtual reality game that requires the Tilt 5 Googles. And,
Okay.
yeah, it's on Steam now, so let's link to that.
Will it work with any other goggles, any VR sets, or just the Tilt 5?
Just Tilt 5.
Okay.
It's exclusive for them.
Have you seen the metaverse?
Oh yes, it's horrible.
It's just so bad. It's so
the
bad.
next thing is, Mark Zuckerberg said, now we have lags. That's like
boy.
most hilarious.
Oh my God!
I think it's already dead. Everything.
It is. It's doing stuff that we've been doing for freaking. I mean,
Second Life.
So before that, Habitat on the C64.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't virtual reality.
Sure,
I mean,
it wasn't virtual. It wasn't VR, but neither was Second Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These virtual worlds have existed, and they're so much better than what this thing. I mean, I saw a demo of the thing, a tech demo of it, and it's like nobody's got legs. It's just like upper bodies only.
Well, now they got legs.
Oh, they got legs now. Oh, they fixed that
thing. Yeah.
But like, I mean, just the graphics are it's like Nintendo Wii level graphics.
Yeah. I think
like,
that was the main problem. I also have a Meta Quest 2 here lying around. I didn't use it for a year probably, and I think it's just a gimmick that got old pretty fast.
yeah.
Wow.
And so I don't know what to do with my Meta Quest here that are lying
Sell it.
around and collecting dust. And
Do a review. You run that thing and make a video.
Yes, why not? Yeah.
Yeah, let's have our experience in the metaverse.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty boring experience.
Yes,
And the thing is, they're locking out. So making it a VR only thing is locking out so many other people from using it.
Yeah.
That you could do if you made it like a Second Life or something like that, where it's just on your screen and you're walking around and you just about any computer could do it because the graphics are not anything special.
Mm-mm.
You know, so you're I mean this freaking 15-year-old MacBook could probably render that kind of graphics.
Yeah. Indeed.
Awesome. Yeah, but other news. Overtake, the racing game portal, joins forces with race department, so now they're getting bigger. So that's good.
Cool.
There's now one place to get more of those racing news for video games and computers. I mean, it's the only genre where I don't suck. Normally I suck at games, but racing games, that's my thing. That's my genre.
Okay.
You're a racer.
I'm a racer, yeah.
Racer.
And
we won't mention our
news?
pit stop too.
Other
challenge.
news. The life story of the legendary John Captain Crunch Draper Kickstarter has launched. Yes.
Cool.
It's called Employee 13.
Mm-hmm.
So we will link to that.
Yeah. It's been. I've been seeing a lot of it, mostly thanks to you.
Yeah.
Because as we know, Jörg and John Draper go back quite a ways.
Oh yes, we are long-time friends.
Yeah, we did a podcast with him that ended weirdly, but it was a podcast that we did with him.
Yes, he's
what he is. Yeah.
Yeah, he has been in my city a couple of times. I met him in person, spent a week with him, hosted him. Yeah.
Yep.
That was an interesting experience.
Yes.
So much about this. We will see.
Yeah.
Where this is going.
Maybe
one thing that I found interesting about this Kickstarter.
Who's going to play you in the movie?
I don't know if they consider me important enough.
I don't know. I think they should.
One thing that I found weird on this Kickstarter is there's no physical rewards.
Oh. Okay.
No Blu-ray, no DVD. Nothing.
Just streaming, just whatever.
Just a
downloads files.
Okay.
Well,
I'm all physical.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you'd like to have something.
So I'm still on the fence whether I should or not back.
I mean, you can always make your own physical stuff to go with it. Burn a DVD. Make a box.
Okay.
They should consider VHS probably.
Yes, I had this discussion on my personal Twitter. Yeah. Like, you really have a VHS player with an HDMI connector? Why? I'm like, because there are things like movies that have never been released on anything else than VHS.
Did you say you had a VHS player with HDMI out?
Yes.
Wow.
I had a TV. the last actual tube TV that I had was had HDMI in, and it was massive.
I know.
It wasn't that big a screen. It was widescreen. It was 16 by 9 or whatever. But
the latest have been widescreen.
Yeah, and but man, it was not. It was allegedly like a 1080p.
Yeah, I know.
But no,
many people don't know that. Many people don't know that, but modern the latest generation of CRT
Yeah.
can display full HD 1080p.
Yeah.
Many people don't know that, but that's true.
I don't know where that TV is now, but I might be able to find a picture of it. I'll take a look.
Yeah, and the same with my VHS player, which is actually VHS player and the DVD recorder.
Oh, okay, so
that
that makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's from 2011 from LG, and it's actually the last of its kind with HDMI. So I didn't want to have something with a, scan line generator, signal converter stuff.
Right.
The upscaler is right inside the device.
Yeah.
One
thing that I just discovered, and I guess this has been around for a couple of years. I didn't know about it. I just found out. Is that the SX64 keyboard membrane? There is one being made. That and a circuit board and a board. PCB for it. Which that's one of the things that often goes bad with the SX64 is the keyboard.
Not mine, unfortunately.
Yeah, but for a lot of them, the keyboard is the weak link because it's not the same keyboard that you'd get in your regular C64. It's like it's a membrane thing with weird. I don't know.
If your link is weak, did you try a magic drink?
Excuse me?
Link? The game character?
Oh.
Ooh, that was a long line.
Oh, yeah, that was grasping. But anyway, there's this store.
There's a new Zelda coming out.
What's that?
There's a new Zelda coming out on the Switch. Nintendo just announced that. I forgot its title, but it's coming out.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, there's a website, sellmyretro.com, that actually sells new keyboard membranes.
Nice.
For the SS64, and I'll put a link to that. Also, we'll put a link.
Yes. Tell me the link.
Yeah, it's based in the UK, but it's got overwhelmingly positive feedback.
So I have another option if my link is weak.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Awesome.
And do we want to talk about the fact that Scene World was featured in the German Design magazine?
I mean, Dennis can talk about it because he knows the magazine. I didn't.
Yeah.
He put me in the picture what they were and stuff.
It's a pretty popular magazine over here in Germany. It's called Page. It's design and art magazine basically. It's running since since the 1980s actually, and really popular. And they put a full page of Scene World in the magazine, featuring Scene World along with some other publications. And it was pretty nice to see this in such a renowned magazine. And I think this is pretty amazing promotion and amazing. It reaches people that still don't know Scene World, and it's pretty
right.
Awesome.
Did they talk to anybody from us, or did they just say, "Here's the thing"?
Here's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just found it in my letterbox the other day. It was like, "Oh, Gamescom spam is coming again." I was actually about to throw it away.
Yeah, they discovered Scene World by themselves and featured Scene World because they like the fact that it's still a floppy disk magazine, that it's get released for old school computer, for C64, and I think this triggered some attention in the editorial team, and that's it.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
And they printed some logos from Johan, from Janos, Black, and from Victor, Retromantis from Peru. So.
Yeah, they skipped my logo. I did one. They skipped it. It wasn't very good. I'll admit. I was just getting back into it.
They skipped logo from Triple R and from John as well. They skipped quite a few artists.
Yeah.
We had one from Taco, Drake, in the first episode. So
yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, one page. they had to choose.
Yeah, well, I mean it looks good. I'm looking at it right here. You know, it's
And there's also news from the German store. Look behind you, and they actually said, yeah, exactly. They actually said that the German version of the Secrets of Monkey Island book is very successful.
Oh. Okay.
Got high sales and stuff, and also available since January is an art book called The Art of Assassin's Creed Valhalla in cooperation with Ubisoft.
Oh.
Yay.
All right.
And yeah. And there is a card game called Amiga Duel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting that Ubisoft is working with them. So hey, nice.
Yeah.
Nico Barbat is a friend of Lars Sobirai. I know them from the same space.
Right.
Yeah. And also that means April 1st will mark 25 years in the retro scene for me.
Ooh,
25 years. Yeah.
Jesus
On April
Lord.
Fool's Day.
That's big.
1998. I joined the scene.
God, then how long have I been here? Jesus Lord.
I know the exact date. The exact day. April 1st.
Yeah, I can probably tell you. Not with extreme certainty, but it would have been around. Would have been around February in 92.
Okay.
That I started, so that would mean that I've been here 92, 2002, 2012. I've been here over 30 years now. This is horrible.
You see?
This is terrible. 30 years.
Yeah. I joined the scene when the last issue, well, except this gap when they released 5 other issues in till 2005. But I joined when the last issue of Driven was released.
Yeah.
Which sparkled the idea for Scene World.
Yeah.
Let's hope they didn't stop because they knew I was joining the scene, but
no, I can tell you that that's not why we stopped.
But I know the last issue was released exactly when I joined. So the first issue I ever saw of Driven was the last one. It was like, oh my god, so sad, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did come back for that 5
issues
run.
Yeah, I know.
There is actually stuff that is unreleased that maybe because there was going to be another issue after that, I believe, and we were working on the text for it. I'm sure I still have it somewhere because I was one of the at that point I was reviewing demos. Dokken from Electron and I were the demo reviewers, so we were
nice.
We were bouncing ideas back and forth, and I've got wherever we were when we realized that, like, oh yeah, this isn't going to happen. So
not too bad.
But
well,
maybe I can dig that up. Add it to the archive someplace.
You should.
I think 30 years in the scene. I think I may be the American that has been a part of the most disc mags. I think that might be my claim to fame in this, because I was all right. So I did stuff for the Crest, with Ditech when they were putting that out. I did stuff with Domination. Yeah, Lodestar. Still with Vandalism. Scene World, still there. Driven, obviously. And there was this other one that was a weird one that I did a couple of things for. I can't remember what the dude's name was that put it out. It was really kind of small and localish. So I mean that's like 7 disc mags, and I don't know if any American has worked for that many, like written an article or been featured or something, sure, but like actually been on staff of these things.
Yeah.
Cool.
And last but not least, Dennis, you also released something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I did. I just started a tape label, a cassette tape label. It's called Occult Tracks. It's always a collection of 7 to 8 tracks put it on tape, and yeah, you have your Walkman there, and I see you're ready, Jörg, for some techno action on tape.
Actually,
yeah.
AJ will recognize this when I hold it in the camera. It's the last model Sony ever released for the American market.
Wow.
Yes, it's the WM-FX290W from 2004, the last model, and I found a German eBayer selling it for 19 euros.
Nice.
Oh wow.
It was like, wow, I have to get it. That was buy now price, you know? So that was an instant buy. No CE sign. It's really imported from America, but it has a crisp, clear sound quality. It's amazing.
Cool.
You know, no
Very
flutter, no wow, nothing. Awesome.
Yeah. So I think many music releases are coming back on tape again.
Since 2 years, actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
Especially in Germany and America also. I mean, Nick Vivid is also releasing
Yep.
lots of tapes. It's coming back since 3 years, you know? And even big groups like Queen did reprint. Sugar Babes did a reprint.
But now are they actually like are we making new hardware to run this, or do we have to find old stuff? Because remember with records, records went out, vinyl went out of style, and now they're making new vinyl record players again.
Yeah, here's the thing. All modern tape decks produced since 2011 are crap because there's only one plant, only one manufacturer in China doing them.
Right.
And it comes in 2 variants. Either with plastic parts that has a lot of instability in the engine, so it sounds horrible. And this pitch juggling is called wow and flutter. Or there's a metal variant where you have companies like Technics, you know, that is still producing cassette decks costing 400 euros in the better variants, you know, of this assemble. But most of the time they will use the plastic parts thing.
Yeah.
And it sounds horrible. It's super horrible. So you can get new devices. I can show you one. Here. That's a new one.
Okay.
It has Bluetooth. It has analog radio, FM, and shortwave.
Right.
But the assembly, the drive mechanics are horrible. So the answer to your question is yes, you can buy new devices, but no, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I wonder if that's going to change with more people going back to these retro kind of formats. If you know, manufacturers are going to be like, hey, there's now a market for this again, like they did with record players.
Which are now called vinyl for whatever reason.
Well, it was always called vinyl because the discs, the records themselves were made of vinyl.
Exactly, but in old English, you would call them records and not vinyls.
Yeah.
But nowadays, people, well, records? Do you mean vinyls? Yeah, well, that's the same, isn't it?
Well, I think it got mixed up with like they conflate record with album. you know?
Probably.
Yeah, so it's like he's putting out a new record, but that record might be on CD or whatever. Like it's not
Probably.
the actual vinyl
Probably.
record, of which I have a vinyl record from Remute right back there. Pointing
Nice.
at it right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
Anyway, now I have the and here's the thing. I want to record it so I can show it to people, how analog sounds different to digital. And I found there's only one sound card left of worth the mention that still has an analog input line in.
Right.
Because most are just digital, optical.
Yeah.
Optical line in. And
right.
This one, the Sound Blaster G3 still has an analog. It's actually analog and optical combo line in, and the thing is, it also works without a PC via Bluetooth, and you can connect it to your smartphone and can use it as a digital audio converter, DAC, for improving headphone quality on things like the Switch, PlayStation, and other consoles. So it's like killing it, and I only use a fraction of its functionality because I only want to be able to record analog audio in stereo.
Yeah, right.
So I don't need all these other functions.
Yeah.
But
well, I think the old Griffin iMic might be able to do that too, if you can find one. I don't think they make them anymore. But
well, I wanted something that works on modern Windows 11.
Well, this does work on Windows 11. It works on pretty much everything. But it was made originally because the older Macs had they had a microphone port, but it wasn't. It was for that weird plain talk microphone, and so you couldn't just take any old random mic and plug it in. And so this thing came with, it had audio out and audio in, and you could switch the audio in from like the Apple's plain talk standard to just whatever, just analog, whatever nonsense you want to plug into.
Yeah, but most people think that microphone in could be used as line in. That's not 100% true.
Right.
Once, the microphone input jack has an amplifier.
Correct.
On the other hand, it's only mono.
Right.
While a line in doesn't have an amplifier and a stereo.
Right, exactly.
I guess, Dennis, you can confirm because you are an expert in music, right?
And that's why.
Indeed.
That's why the old iMac. Here's my old graphite one for my G4. It's got the little switch that lets you switch between what the input is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Indeed.
This was like really, really useful back in the day for things working.
In my case, in the case of this thing, it's happening all with software. So
yeah.
No physical. I mean, there is a physical switch, but for other purposes.
Yeah, I've got a similar thing. I've got the Sound Blaster Play 4, I think, that I'm using, which has got a. I don't think it's as fancy as that, but it does the job.
Wait, but the Play 4 doesn't have a line in, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it does.
Because I was looking at the Sound Blaster, and the Play 4.
Oh no, it's got that it's got that like shared input output.
Play 4. Let's see.
It does, because it's got a mute button on it, so you can mute the mic.
Yes, but as I just said to
but
Dennis,
it's one port. It's that shared port like the MacBook has. And
but the problem is microphone is amplified and it's only mono.
Right.
So whatever you record if you use a microphone input as line in, you only get mono and amplified signal,
Right.
which is not what you want
Exactly.
if you
I
want
know.
to make it good.
Right.
So
Right.
actually, I made a recording using Torn from the original tape, from 1997.
Oh,
and-
Natalie Imbruglia. That's
Yeah.
going back.
Exactly. And I also got the Italian release, New Old Stock.
That's not.
unwrapped it.
I didn't. You didn't strike me as a Natalie Imbruglia fan.
And then I did a comparison with the remastered version on YouTube, and it sounds so much different. It's amazing. If nowadays we are so much used to cut off highs or bass or whatever, because it's all compressed pretty much.
Yeah.
Analog sounds so much different, which is why I understand why vinyls are coming modern since a few years. It's just sounding different,
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing with modern music is, as you said, Jörg, the compression is made to make it loud, to make it smartphone compatible. Just there's basically no dynamic in modern music. It's just kind of flat waveform.
Yep.
And indeed, stuff that was mastered probably 20 years ago has a lot of more dynamic, but it's also pretty quiet if you compare it. And the thing with modern music is it has to be loud, only loud, and dynamic is not so important anymore for the record companies at least. But I think myself, I'm also a fan of more dynamic material. I don't know. And probably record companies should not master that loud anymore.
Well, I mean, in comparison with the Thorin song, particularly, it's neither loud nor is it aggressive, but you can hear that her voice is deeper in the cassette recording than in the remastered, where it has more of a echo effect and less bass.
Yeah.
But it sounds clearer, but you wouldn't think she sang this clear in real. So I think the remastering added something that wasn't there.
Yeah,
honestly.
probably.
Yeah.
Or cranked something up that was there and you didn't hear in the original version.
Yeah.
There's also something to be said for like the individual experience, really, too, because like, all right, so I had years ago a cassette of Pink Floyd's the Division Bell album, and the cassette was badly made. It was cheap. It was this soft, weird blue plastic, and it the tape got caught all the time, and I got used to hearing it, with like, all right, well, here in this song, the sound dips out right here and comes back and whatnot. And that's how I heard it for years. And then I got the CD, or I downloaded it off of iTunes or something, and I listened to it, and I'm expecting this noise that I've heard my whole life listening to this, and it's not there. Because, now everything is homogenous and everything, and it's like the small differences that your experience listening to this would be different from somebody else who has, a better quality tape or a better quality player or something. It's there's something to be said for that, because I expect to hear this dip in noise to this day, and it's been decades since I last heard. What the hell is making noise?
Well, let me be honest. As a kid, I never had a tape collection because I was a CD kid.
Yeah,
I had CDs.
You were younger.
Yeah. That's, my lord, the 4 years difference between you and me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, let's jump to Join in Cape Town
and
learn about Twitch streaming.
Cool. Yeah. Enjoy. Bye.
Today we have another podcast guest, and I'm very pleased today to have Join, also known as JowyBear, from South Africa, Cape Town, with us today. Hello.
Hi. Welcome to you too.
Yes. Well, super amazing. I mean, I'm following you since 7 years, I think, on Twitch, and I was super pleased that in this one art stream you were actually saying like, yeah, I have to, go out more and get more brand recognition and perhaps do some interviews and stuff. And I was like, yes, now is the moment. And in this very second, I wrote this email to you like, hey, would you like to come to the podcast? And you were like,
I see.
yes, totally, So
yeah, marketing in South Africa is quite small. Not many people in South Africa know what a Twitch streamer is, and so yes, it's hard to maneuver the scene as a streamer, being stuck inside the house doing what you do. So yeah, that interviews and such help a lot.
you didn't do a lot. I mean, I was looking for interviews with you, and I only found one with fairly odd streamers. That was a written interview, and I was like, aren't there any other interviews?
That was many years ago as well. No, there's many places that have asked me to do interviews, but I've not said yes.
Okay.
Or it's one of it's a time waster kind of situation where it's not worth my time, because there's just certain places that are just doing it for their own fame rather than it actually being useful content.
Oh.
And
well, I mean, of course, it's always bad to self-reflect. I don't know how good we are going there in this regard, but I think we are.
We shall see.
I mean, we are fairly international, which is also in our name. And well, I mean, I'm personally I'm pretty happy with the guests we had so far. But of course, it's always hard to see from our perspective, That's how I see it. But personally, since people ask me like, hey, do you watch any Twitch streamers? I can now say like, yes, this one, this is the one I watch in my free time. So now I can actually refer to something, because normally people are like, the person from South Africa? Why?
Yeah, why?
Yeah,
why me, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, the problem is with Twitch streamers, a lot of them are not themselves, and some people don't even have a camera facing them, but they are faced from the side, and then it doesn't really feel like you are part of the stream as a watcher, and I think in your case it all comes together, and you look genuine,
Yeah, that was one of my initial, when it comes to starting up your stream as a beginner, you need to analyze these things initially. What kind of brand do you want for your community, your people? And that was one of the things I did, is I didn't want those side cam kind of, a gamer doing gamer things, doing what and not really recognizing the community as part of the connection. I didn't like that. So, I mean, I have put it on the side, but I just feel like when it, maybe in a game situation, sure, on the side, but when it comes to the, I'm talking to you, you're talking to me, it just doesn't feel right ignoring them here on the side. Yeah, it's various things that I've done to stay authentic and be me, be real.
And I think that one moment that I really remember was when you asked the people in the chat what they are doing for a living, and you were totally surprised, and I said like, yeah, for a living I'm testing Metal Gear software. And you seem to remember that, because 3 weeks later you were like, oh, you are the guy who tests medical software for a living. I'm like, wow, she remembered, with hundreds of people watching her, and she still remembers what I told like 3 weeks ago. So that was
Yeah,
like
it's
totally surprising to me.
it's something that I've well, it's it takes some actually paying attention in that moment. Why? Like, don't just ask random questions. Be present, be there. Have a reason, have proper interest in that person's life. And like a lot of the community members that have come around often, they're my family. They literally, I see them every single day, I talk to them. They're my friends and my family. And it's nice to get to know them on a personal level, knowing where they come from, what they do, who they married to, how many kids they have, what their story is. um yeah. And so you can also build ties within the community because you asked that question. That person might say, I'm from here and I do this. And then the other person is like, wait, I'm from here too and I do this as well. And so I found that I've actually I got this like very sweet email from someone saying, thank you so much. You changed my life entirely because I met this person in the channel with you, and now it's my best friend and we're hanging every day. And you get
Wow.
situations like that. And that's I think that's the essence of being a streamer. And I told the guys the other day, I hate the term influencer because it it insinuates it's a marketer. It's someone that takes a brand and slaps it in your face. Here, have a look, buy it. Here's the link. Clickbait, clickbait, clickbait. um but the way I see what my purpose in this whole streaming career has taught me, my purpose is to influence people in a positive way and change their life for the better. And that's the kind of influencing I try and do by just being there, just being me, being present, doing whatever I do, and entertaining, hopefully, some people.
So how did it happen that you became a streamer and entertainer, as I said? Because from what I've read, you originally were a model in the well, you wrote model in the
I
well,
well,
movie
yeah,
and commercial industry,
yeah. I
and an
call it
actress.
Mactress.
That's what you actually wrote.
Mactress.
Yeah.
I call it Mactress. It's not quite model, not quite actress.
Okay.
Mactress.
Okay.
Because well, I did castings for, and it can be it's not yeah, yeah, the term model just insinuates it's this tall, kind of lady with, catwalk. And no, um I did commercials, and you can be anybody in any shape or size and any age group or anything. And you just attend castings and you land a job. And I have done various feature work and lead role work for commercials, especially in some films as well. And that's where I started. Well, yeah, so my streaming career started to get to that. My streaming career started, I was in high school and I was in love with this boy at the time, boy. Um and yeah, he was a gamer. And every time I came over to his place, his parents' house, obviously, and I would watch him play games. We'd hang, we'd do things, and then I'd watch him play games. And I would sit on his bed and watch him play. And to a point where I was like, I want to play too. Yeah.
Sure.
So eventually, with everybody's help, I put together a PC of my own, from scraps here and there and hand me downs, and um, built the PC, started gaming, went so far as playing competitive Battlefield 3 and 4 eventually, where he was like casual playing and I became the like pro gamer
Okay.
with
Weird.
my
Okay.
sponsored by all the local, brands and things. And we were the best in South Africa at the time, Battlefield clan. And yeah, that's where the gaming started for me. And I took that, I studied graphic design and I went through various life choices. Um, and long story short, I ended up, uh, it was a winter, but it wasn't raining. It's 2017 when there was this massive drought. Okay, there's a fluff on my camera. There was this drought, and for some reason, all the producers and directors and film crews couldn't come from other places in the world to come and shoot here, and that was my job that I did. And so it was kind of scarce to get jobs during that time. So I decided I did a really good job just a few months ago with a really good pay. Let's take 2 months break, And then my friends kept nagging me, try streaming, do this. And I didn't even know what Twitch was back then. Yeah, you should become a streamer. You should try, play your games, but do it live. And I'm like, why would anybody watch me? That is so absurd. That's such a like the concept of it. Like, why? That's weird. That's what's the point? But as I, because my flatmate at the time had, this TV in the lounge, and he would always watch. So I would slowly that concept creeped in of what it actually means, and yeah, started.
I mean,
Started streaming.
basically, that was the same thought I had the first time. It was like, why would somebody watch somebody else playing rather than playing yourself? And
Yeah.
then when I watched you, I realized it's about the streamer's personality and the whole um, embracing the community and interacting with them and stuff. That was basically the core thing.
Mm.
But then you also have the issue that you are in South Africa, which has its own troubles, For example, you're always playing with a high ping, you always have power outages and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so
Always.
so you really have a challenge there with the
Yeah.
streaming.
Look, every streamer have their own set of, I say, pros and cons, and their challenges and their obstacles. And that's why I always, for anybody that's starting out wanting to become a streamer, I tell them the biggest rule is do not compare yourself with any other person. Yes, it is fine if you have like three people you look up to and you take their tips and their advice and, um, follow them as guidelines to your brand or what you want to accomplish, but never compare yourself because every person has their own obstacles. Like for me, South Africa, initially, I had like one and sometimes zero point 0.5 megabyte upload speeds to begin with when I started streaming. And it was just constant struggles with internet because it would cut out every half an hour or so. I would lose internet again and then again. And, after months of struggling, you're just like, Um, also, PC issues, because initially, a lot of people underestimate how much it takes to have a solid stream setup. Just because you have a gaming PC doesn't mean your gaming PC can stream. Um,
Right,
and
right.
so I've learned many lessons, and that's why I'm very much more knowledgeable about what goes on inside a PC. It has The streaming career has taught me so much about PCs. I started off with a small little gaming PC, um, pushed it into a two PC setup, and ended up with this one PC setup that I have now from Asus, and it's a beast, let me tell you that. But it's a long way from where I started, and many lessons learned, many mistakes, many buy mistakes made to get to this point. And so my pros were I had some people along the way being already a gamer and already having nerd friends that are into IT and into PCs to have taught me, okay, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that. Some people might not have those advantages. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's always interesting because people keep asking, making the same suggestions, like perhaps change internet provider, and then you say no, it's not my internet connection, it's already checked and stuff. People keep giving you hints and stuff, and you already
Yeah.
know what they are going to suggest, and you already are like, yeah, it's all worked out to the
Been
best
there,
already.
done that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But well, because a lot of people come in and they see this pretty face, this chick that's say she's a gamer. They don't realize I have been through. I know. I can build my own PC from scratch, okay? I know what I'm doing. Yeah, they will come in and oh, you should with my high ping, you should just use a VPN.
Like
Sure,
duh.
you
Yeah.
understand where I am situated. I can't. Sorry, the cat
No
is
problem. No problem.
wanting to be part of the show now.
Yeah, she wants some fame as well.
There you go.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's also interesting because sometimes you also talk a bit about how the situation is in South Africa and stuff. And South Africa is sometimes a topic of many YouTubers. I mean, there is this guy called Vincent who made a channel about China, and he's from South Africa, and he always says how dangerous it is to live in Cape Town, especially, and stuff. And I wonder, is it really that dangerous to live there?
I hear this a lot. Okay, so I think you have to take it in perspective. So depending on where he's situated, I don't know where he lives and what his experiences are. There are other places in South Africa that are considered more dangerous for me. I feel like there's a lot of little settlements on the edge of Cape Town. Yes, if you frequent in those areas, especially late at night, this will be dangerous. But no person that has the knowledge of that's a dangerous place, don't go there, will go there. So, no, Cape Town itself isn't I mean, every city has dangers. Every city at night, certain areas, certain pockets of the city, you do not walk alone or even with friends. Um, but no, I honestly, I think Cape Town, out of most of the country of South Africa, is probably the safest. But like I said, it's a matter of perspective. I think depending where he got brought up, he has a certain experience. And so it's the same. That's the one thing I learned from traveling a lot overseas. Um, is your perspective is your reality. What you have experienced is the framework of what is dangerous and what is not dangerous. For instance, you guys have Mexico, well, in the US, they have Mexico and all these other hotspots as holiday destinations. For us, just hearing Mexico, we're like,
Exactly, yeah, same here. Yeah.
Not, nope. I don't want to be part of some cartel or drug lord, So it's really a matter of perspective and where you're from, and what your upbringing and your experiences are, really.
Yeah, I'm asking this because you brought it up recently in a stream where you said you want to change your living situation and you also need a guarded place being a white person and stuff because that is normal in
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
area.
Reality is, for me as a Caucasian female especially, I cannot not be in a security complex. It needs to be a gated community. Obviously, with guards at the the gate post, which there are plenty of. It's more pricier, so that's what I was referring to when I said I do need to find a place, but that is gated, that has the security that I need. Some people don't have the luxury to have that option, and therefore they will stay in, say, a little flat or that doesn't have that. But yeah, I would rather let go of any other luxury and secure my safety first, than have the result of some crime that took place. And yeah, wouldn't want that.
Funny cat. Yeah,
Yeah,
I wonder. We are pretty open as a streamer. I mean, I don't recall many other female streamers being that open, speaking about such parts of her life. So I wonder, doesn't that open doors for weirdos and stuff? I guess because I always hear, Gamergate and other occasions where people are nasty or weird to other female gamers because they are female and female people shouldn't be gamers and stuff, which is weird. I was never raised up with any stereotype whatsoever, so I'm always shocked when I hear stories from other people, because normally when we interview female people in gaming, there is a list of questions you are not supposed to ask, and Gamergate is one of them, and other stuff because they don't want to talk about their negative experiences. So
there's always going to be nasty, evil people in this world. In any office space situation, if I were to be a assistant for a director in some corporate company, I would have gotten some flack from some cringy boy that want to see up my skirt or touch my ass. The reality is that's everywhere, and yes, people, especially I put it such emotionally immature people will definitely use internet as a way to kind of they try and gauge a emotion out of you by coming into chat and saying something very nasty or vulgar or you know and as a streamer you just need to read that as, oh, it's one of those immature people, cool, whatever, that it's mods will mods, I have amazing mods will take care of that guy. Don't need to even show emotion to that situation. Of course sometimes it's it gets to you and you just lash out. But that's just human. But yeah, I try to for most just ignore the situation because it's not worth my time. But yeah, reality is you have a lot of those and they'll more likely be doing that online because they can hide behind a nickname.
Which is not 100% true. You're not anonymous on the internet because you have your IP address and stuff. But the thing is,
Yeah, but it's like
yeah,
I'm not gonna go and get your IP address and be like, oh yeah, that was you. All right, I'm gonna make a case again,
yeah.
So
Well,
they
I
they
guess,
don't care.
yeah. I guess for the authorities, police and stuff, internet is still a magical place at some point. Yeah, I see. Interesting thing I found is that I was finding your stream way back in the days due to Switch suggesting it to me, and was like other channels you might like. And interestingly, I noticed, like, I don't know, was it a year ago or something, that suddenly you also made art streams next to PUBG. And I wonder, how did that happen? Did I miss something along the line? Because I remember at some art stream you said like you do it because you like to do it, but you don't get much views or income generated by the art streams compared to the PUBG streams. So while you say you would like to be more the variety streamer, you gain the most of income by just playing PUBG. So how does this all fit together?
So I have been playing PUBG for like over 5 years now. And reality is you have honed a lot of your viewers, a lot of your followers, perhaps a lot of your subscribers, um, because you were doing PUBG.
Me,
And
for example.
partially because, you were a personality, but mainly because of the interest you had. You clicked on that category, and therefore you went and found me. And then, so I have to, as a person, I have to constantly evolve. And playing PUBG for 5 years does get tiring. I do enjoy it, but PUBG also has changed over the years um, into something less of what I would ideally want. One thing is the bots, for example. I don't like fighting AI. I like fighting humans because it's that human versus human brain cell action, that the strategic play around that person that gets me excited. And not having that, bot fighting you is so frustrating. Especially if you're busy sneaking tactically onto an actual player, and then some bot that's programmed to come at you because you are close to another enemy starts attacking you, and you're like, why? So yes, I started variety, and I'm trying to do more of everything I do in my life, because also on the personal side, um you're sitting here and you're doing PUBG for 8+ hours a day. It gets tiring sitting, and just being able to stand up and move around, and not have to sit like this every single day for 6 days a week is it's yeah, it's a very nice change. And I love various things. I maybe too many things, too many hobbies. So I'm trying to, because I don't have time for them beyond streaming. So I'm trying to like incorporate all those things in my stream life. Yes, I do not make as much playing any other game, um, because, well, I haven't honed those followers because of the personality mainly. It's because of PUBG mainly. So I am gradually trying to interweave new followers that are happy and satisfied watching all these other kind of content with the PUBG ones. Um, and yeah, initially it's going to be downhill, but hopefully an upward trend in the future.
It's interesting because it makes me feel like a unicorn, because I started watching you because of your personality and of the way you interact with your community in the chat. And then
Oh.
I got into PUBG because of that. And in reality, I'm a horrible player. I always was a horrible player. I'm a super horrible player. The only genre I'm really good in is racing games. Anything else, I'm totally horrible. So I found in my hobby I'm better at interviewing people than actually playing games. So now that
Well then.
that's now that I'm able to sit here, and I have to thank you for taking the time, because, well, let's be honest, you are taking time off your stream time, even though it would be later on the day, not at this time currently. But you could also be sitting there earning money instead of sitting with me. So
It's my
I'm really
pleasure. My
appreciating it.
pleasure. My
you know
pleasure. I mean, you're sitting here taking your time, and where I mean that's for me in the end that's what it's all about, is it's connection. It's sharing ideas and sharing energy with one another. And like you said, I've influenced you to start playing PUBG. I have many other people that started painting, started doing the kind of paint styles that I do because they saw this. They never even considered it, and now they're like, oh, this kind of, let's try this, and
And
that's
Atomic
what
Heart.
influencing. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I saw it the other day. Was like, okay, it's not such a bad of a game because it's rather how to say, well, how to say, controversial. There's
Yeah.
a lot of streamers debating, especially in Germany, whether you should buy it and play it or not.
Yeah.
The
I've
same
had a
with
few come into my
Hogwarts
stream.
Legacy and stuff, So
Yeah, I've had a few come into my stream. Yeah, you're not. Why are you playing this game? Why are you supporting this? And I'm like, I'm just a girl from South Africa. I didn't even know who made it. I was just playing the game because it's a game and it's a fun game, And I had so many people come in and like, why are you playing this?
really,
yeah,
okay, didn't notice. Okay.
I feel the same.
Well, I'm really glad that you, well, stay true to yourself and don't let yourself get influenced by what others may think. That's really good.
Yeah. I mean, in the end, for me, it was just a game. I mean, it's already bought, so and the reality is I didn't even buy it. One of the community members, they bought it for me. Because sometimes when we're discussing, oh, maybe I should play this, or oh, this is coming up, this looks like fun. You got really amazing people out there that next day I check, I'm on my PC and then there's a pop-up saying, oh, this person gifted you this game. And I'm like, oh, yay. I don't have to buy it.
Well, I mean, that's the
Yeah.
good thing about being a streamer, right?
Hmm.
You have your community and you have your advantage over it. But I also saw in one of your chats that you're not taking friend requests and stuff, and that's also one of such things that I think one of your mods wrote that you had bad experiences in past with taking Discord friend requests from strangers and stuff.
I do from time to time. The thing is, I haven't checked it in forever. But reality, yeah, I was one of those girls that was like, yeah, everybody can be my friend. Yeah, sure. I'm not one of those that you can't be my friend. You can't be my friend. I'm too good. I'm not one of those. But I learned my lesson from being too friendly, too open. Um, don't accept all them friend requests because I then get spammed by so many people and voice called and video called by so many people wanting to chat, wanting to chit chat, wanting to get into the, convo box, wanting to, get a conversation going and make it towards let's meet up or let's hang or be my girlfriend or marry me or
Oh God!
um
Oh God!
yeah, so and
Oh
then
God! Be my girlfriend! Oh my God! Really? Oh God!
yeah,
How cringy!
I not just that, I opened a conversation once because I used to mail every massive donator. Like this guy specifically donated $1,000
Wow.
once off one time, and because that's, yeah, wow, like whoa. So I sent a personal email saying, thank you very much. That is really, really generous. I really appreciate the support to my channel. It really helps me improve my brand and keeping it more professional, not going too personal, but really thanking, because let's be honest, that's a lot. Um, and this guy started getting very infatuated. And yeah, it came to a point where it got an FBI case.
Oh.
It became an FBI case.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah. because the guy ended up, um, yeah, it's a long story, but he threatened to bomb a certain event, and
Wow.
obviously the FBI got onto it. It's in the US, though.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm safe. But
Well,
yeah, he
no,
got
no.
jailed
Okay.
and so on. But yeah, so lesson learned: do not open conversations just to anybody. I'm very specific now. There has to be some good reason beyond it.
Well, hopefully my reason was good, and hopefully you don't regret sitting with me here. You know, I mean, for me it was like, well, we have this platform and we have this opportunity to help you getting known better in the world
Yeah,
out there, you know, and we have our audience. I was like, well, perhaps I can help her
pretty awesome. Thank
being
you.
more known, you know. Um,
Thanks.
we don't. I mean, when I read what other podcast people are suggesting, you know, like, hey, send them a promo package and then makes them tweet about you and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, well, you might do it or you might not. It's not how we decide who to invite for a guest, you know. It's not like what's the most beneficial for us. That's not our way of thinking, you know.
Yeah.
So it's always nice when somebody does it, but if an influencer is not even mentioning it, it's fine for us. So it's not like I'm putting the pistol to people, or as you
Well, I
say it
mean,
yourself, the Panzerfaust.
the
Yeah,
Panzerfaust.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you can send me a link and I'll share it.
you know. But
I
I see
I
the problem there. Yeah, I see that when you are too nice, people take advantage of you, right? That's the
Yes,
point. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
definitely. You gotta be sometimes hard and say no. You gotta say no many times.
So I'm glad they said yes to me, you know. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
I think the biggest problem is just having the time, because there's so many moving parts being a streamer. A lot of people think, oh yeah, I want to become a streamer too. You play games all day, and
yeah.
it's not that. There's so much behind the scenes that is constantly running, constantly fixing and editing and adding and responding to emails. Um, it was a lucky chance for you, because I just happened to have time that day, and I was like, okay, let's go through some of these emails that I've been, because I tend to open an email, read it, and it's like, oh, by that time I'm lying in bed with my phone. Nah, okay, cool. Well, we respond to that later, but it piles up and it piles up. So that day we responded.
I mean, let's talk about it. You also are a brand ambassador for Rode, Asus, and other brands. So what is your daily life beyond what we see as stream
Daily life.
watchers?
Um, well, last year, I was very much recluse. I was very much withdrawn from everything, I feel like. And I made it my mission this year to be more involved, more active, more proactive in setting dates and you know get-togethers with my people, with my friends and my family. Yeah, so this year I have made a mission to book tickets to festivals, to go. I mean, we just last week went to go see Ronan Keaton. This weekend, this Friday, I'm going to Ultra Festival. So there's I'm actively trying to be part of my friends' lives, and
Awesome.
it's sometimes really difficult being the kind of streamer I am, catering to a lot of the US community, because that's where the biggest community is. It means I have to stream late nights throughout into the morning. But then I sleep during the day. And whenever weekend comes around, I'm sleeping. And I unless I, meet up with someone in the evening, I don't get to see much of my friends and family. So I have continually changing my schedule to kind of accommodate my personal life and my stream life, and make both fit. And it's sometimes hard to do. I'm currently, last night I was busy working on that schedule, modifying it again, because we want to change things up again. So yeah, it's hard sometimes.
And you mentioned you want to do more off stream to get more brand awareness. So I guess the interview we have right now is one of those activities. Can you talk about other plans, or is that super
Start
secret?
of many. So for the longest time, Facebook has been just sitting there, and I feel very bad because, okay, so I once used to multi-stream to all the platforms, prior to being a Twitch partner. And even at the beginning of being a Twitch partner, I wasn't aware that you weren't allowed to stream to Facebook, even if not simultaneously. So back then, I wasn't allowed to stream to Twitch and then go offline and then, go live on Facebook and be for a few hours there too. I wasn't allowed to. I didn't know this because in the contract, it didn't really specify that. They just mentioned not simultaneously streaming. So got in trouble, but got out of trouble eventually. Lessons learned, and I feel like, wow, the big thing is Facebook really helped my Twitch growth. It really does, because the Twitch algorithm is really bad, really bad. There's no discoverability. You have to be, first of all, you have to know of Twitch. Then you have to go to Twitch's browser. You have to select what genre you want. And once you're in the genre, the most popular streamer is at the very top. And then to the very least viewers, that person is not going to grow being at the very bottom of that massive, category of all the streamers, unless someone really scrolls all the way down to that guy's. And so Facebook has a better discoverability. It has various ways of marketing or showing your footage to some random people. Also, if someone is watching my Facebook stream, they can share my stream to their community, their friends and their family. They can share it to their timeline. So it's, various other people that's seeing, oh, what's this? And, they might not even have interest in streamers or gamers, but they'll find out from their buddy that has just posted that. So the discoverability is a lot better. Also, a more international. Facebook is more known international. Twitch is still growing. It's getting better in Europe, but in South Africa, it's still like very few people know about it. With your help, it'll get better. It'll get better.
Well, I mean, people consider Facebook for old people. So I don't know if that is really your target age group.
I guess it's not my, well, yeah. My target age group is, I don't get to pick it really. It's what I attract, I guess. And I tend to attract anything between 20, because I do have profanity, and the younger kids can't have that. But I have about a 20 to 40 range, if you look at the peak metrics. But I've had a guy that's in his 80s that came into my stream and that loves the content. It depends on so many variables. I don't tend to want to cater for much younger generations, because I feel like I would need to filter a lot of me out.
Of course,
Which,
yeah. Mm.
I don't want, because it needs to be kiddie friendly, and I want to be me. I want to be authentic, and I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry,
Okay,
can't say
yeah,
that. I
makes
can't.
point.
I can't talk about that. Yeah. So that's why I wouldn't want to go too young. Um, but I do intend on trying out this TikTok thing. But I feel like I would make for TikTok, the plan is to make more like memes relating to gaming or gamers. Um, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
I mean, the funniest thing you mentioned, it's the first time I Googled you, I found this interview from fairly odd streamers and memes. That was the second search result, actually. So there are memes from you where you look scared and stuff, you know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I used to look that up. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Or you never heard of you're the
The
memes from JowyBear?
I don't know. No, the Giphies?
Exactly.
Are they
Yeah.
Giphies?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Giphies. Yeah, I know about those. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So there you are. You already have some memes on your name.
Yep. Yep.
But now that you mention it, Facebook and stuff, Twitter perhaps and stuff, I wonder, couldn't you use a social media manager or somebody helping you with that part?
I struggle to find someone that is capable of managing and really understanding this industry, and really, like, instead of it just being a paying job, like fully putting all their love and affection into it, because I have obviously put all my love and affection into it, and to see someone take over what I do, but then, not fully understanding where, for example, if I have had an editor and she's very sweet and amazing, but she doesn't know what a really a good moment in PUBG is.
Okay.
For her, any guy that I just killed is a good moment because I killed him. But we kill guys in PUBG like a lot.
Mm, mm,
So it needs to be like a really like, oh my goodness, that was epic kind of moment. And she'll just edit because someone clipped something. She'll
mm,
just take that and, oh, it must be a good thing. And so it's harder for me to micromanage someone else doing these things than just doing it myself. But obviously I need time. And then
mm,
with editing and a manager, those things, they cost money too. And I've had her on for quite some time, um but she's off to, better adventures.
mm,
um and yeah, I would want that, but it's hard to find that kind of mentality in South Africa just yet, because it's maybe someone international or would have a better concept,
mm,
and that have dealt with other streamers and content creators will know the flow of things. But to do the training and to train up a person to just leave the next year is just, it's exhausting, and it takes so much more time than what it's
mm.
worth.
I've heard of a lot of companies and individuals taking money, not helping, but still taking the money, like, okay, well, sorry, we
Mm-hmm.
cannot be more of
Mm-hmm.
help, but thanks for paying us.
Oh yeah, that's happened to me also many, many times. I've once had a court case.
Wow.
Well, it didn't get to a court case because I took on a lawyer that's apparently a gaming industry lawyer that knows the whole of everything. I had so there was adverts going the round that had my face on it. They took one of the little screen grabs of me going,
Wow.
oh
Okay.
my God, that's it, emotions, whatever, for their game. And it was some like really bad mobile pop this bubble kind of game. And then the biggest problem there was it was defamation of my brand identity and my identity.
Wow.
Because right next to that they had another guy saying I am better than my boyfriend, and this is also some
Ooh.
random streamer online, and now it's my boyfriend, and we're competing, and it's my it's my face on it. And everybody in my community knows I don't do mobile games. I am a PC gamer. So it's also like a clash of everything that I stand for. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah, but anyway.
And I paid a lawyer a lot of money to draw up these papers to, sue these guys, and he just walked away with everything. He said he drew it up, he said he sent it, and then he told me, "Oh yeah, they're not responding." But hello? Is that it? Are you just going to take my money and go? Is that how it works?
So from all these stories, I understand that you're very picky who you agree to work with, Yeah, I understand. No, don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm not a scam
I'm not,
and stuff.
yeah, I'm not picky. Okay, so when it comes to brands, you need to be selective. Going with just everybody and anybody it's a bad image to your brand, and I'll tell you why. Because I teamed up with ASUS, obviously Rode as well. But one of the ASUS guys specifically told me that they were looking into other content creators, and this specific person they were at first considering, but the reason they did not consider that person because they were just branding with anybody and everybody, and that's not part of their brand morals. They want to be recognized as the best, which they are, and therefore having someone on that just advertises anything and everything for the money isn't what they stand for. And so yes, if you want the top tier brands to approach you, which ASUS and Rode had, do not just team up with anybody because you're giving your brand a bad identity. My earliest memory of a game was Commander Keen.
Commander Keen, actually. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes, that was still on a Macintosh back then. That's my earliest. And what is that pinball with the ball that goes up, and you have these two little flappies that reep, reep. That's my earliest memories of games that I played.
Interesting. So that is how this was your first touch with video games.
Yeah, and PlayStation with the the controller. PlayStation video games. Well, no, it wasn't PlayStation. It was video games. It was with the box, gaming box, with the little tapes. I think it was little. No, it was it was little tapes that you pushed in and you played on the controller. Those.
You mean cartridges, perhaps?
Is it?
I mean, like a Super Nintendo has such cartridges here and stuff.
Oh, yeah, like cartridges, but like way smaller. They were like little tiny ones that you put in the box, which is a TV
Game Boy, perhaps?
No.
Okay.
Before that.
Before that.
Earlier than that. Yeah. Video games. It was actually called video games. Yeah. I don't know what. Yeah.
Must be something specific then. Huh. Interesting.
It's like before PlayStation and Xbox and all that. Yeah.
Interesting.
I'll find out what it is. I'll let you know. I see you have
An
a game
arcade
box
machine.
next.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's pretty cool. Is it working? Is
Of
it
course it
functional?
is. Of course it
Oh
is.
yeah,
Of course it
that's
is.
awesome.
And it runs all those JAMA boards. So every time you want to change a game, you have to change the whole machine, basically the whole
Whoa.
PCB. So
Wow, that's insane.
right now there's Tekken in the inside, which is interesting because
Nice.
Tekken looks exactly like on the PlayStation. That is because the arcade machine, the board is basically a PlayStation without the DVD drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Do you have the top record on that?
no.
No, wait.
I'm not a good player, as I said, but it was
Oh.
always my dream to have my own arcade machine. And when I
Okay.
moved in
Wow.
here, it was like decide between a couch and an arcade machine, and
Who
of
needs
course,
couches?
exactly,
Nah.
yes,
Well done.
you know,
Dream accomplished.
that's exactly, yeah. Well, the hardest part is finding people repairing stuff to get it in working order.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
biggest problem.
I mean,
At
it's
least
an
here in
arcade
Germany,
machine.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like if you were in South Africa, people would just look at me like, what's that?
Yeah. I mean, just recently I got myself, first time in my life, a real Walkman from Sony. So,
Wow.
you
Well,
know,
I remember back then having a Walkman. Yeah, there's so many things many people in future generations won't understand, won't know, won't yeah,
you know,
be able to
tapes.
live. Yes, those tapes. Oh, the worst when they unravel and you need to try and fix it. They don't understand. No.
Well, I mean, here, at least here in Germany, music cassettes are finding a revival.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you
Interesting.
can find new releases like
Wow.
the Sugar Babes for their 20th anniversary re-released their music cassette
Wow.
on
I
gold
think
tape and stuff. Queen did it, and others also.
I mean, I guess it's a market for it. Whoever still uses it,
Me, for
start up
example.
start up a company and just, rewrite these things to tapes, and you got a seller. There's a market. Do it.
That's it.
That's smart. Yeah.
May I ask you, by the way? I mean, how is it? I mean, being a Twitch streamer. I mean, interestingly, when you look around at Twitch, there are a lot of categories. I mean, when I was interviewing somebody from Jamaica being into Twitch and stuff, it was the first time actually that you had things like sleeping streams and pool streams, and there was like, oh
Yeah.
my god. And the thing is, this category, I'm just sleeping, is not actually meant to be about sleeping, but it's actually a game from 2005 that's called
Wow.
I'm Just Sleeping, and some Twitch streamers mistakenly thought it's for
Miss
sleeping streams.
Yes. Oh yeah. Okay. So we can sleep now. Sure. Okay. Everybody get into, the pajamas. Let's go. Wow. Yeah, no, you get some weird content. Like I have also, gone down that rabbit hole and browsed through all the different avenues, and I've also been like, what? And surprisingly, like with the sleep streams, there's people like over 400-500 people watching this dead still body lying there sleeping. It is nuts that there's actually people that enjoy that. But hey, each to their own. It's very interesting, but hey, each to
You
their own.
actually mentioned it once in one of your streams, why you are not a person for the pool streams and stuff.
Yeah, I from obviously from the very start, I do not like promoting the sexuality of females, or at least there's a difference between being a sexy female or a sexy male and literally using your body to gain viewers and money. And it's the same concept as whoring yourself out. And I'm not for it when it comes to gaming and calling myself an actual gamer. It's not about my cleavage, and it shouldn't be. The focus shouldn't be about what package I have down there, you know? Um, it should be about either my content and what I can offer you, what I can teach you, what knowledge I have perhaps of PCs and gaming, um, or us just conversing like normal people um, over the internet, of course. But yeah, um, I hate the idea of yeah,
I mean,
cam
it's
girls,
I mean, it's
cam girls they
interesting.
called.
It's interesting. I was like, okay, let's have a look, and it's. Okay, it's nice what you look at, but it's not really. There's not really much connection to the audience and stuff. So it's really getting boring after 10-15 minutes,
Yeah, yeah.
watching
Oh,
somebody
well,
in the pool, and of course the chat is always cringe-worthy, like, oh my god, you are so hot and stuff. I'm like, oh my god, no, no, why would I want to write that in somebody's chat? That's so embarrassing,
they're
but
anonymous. No one
yeah, I
knows who
know,
they
I know.
are, and that's just it. That's why they do it. Yeah, I fully understand, and obviously the ladies and the men that do that know what they're doing.
Oh
They
yeah.
know they're honing in so much money because people like to watch, and people like to think that they're gonna get some. But yeah, it's not gonna happen. That person is really just taking you for a ride by using their body to sell.
Well, it could haunt them in the long run. You never know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Somebody might recording it and put it up like 10 years later. You never know
Yeah,
what's going to happen with your content. That's why
yeah,
you
but
say the internet forgets nothing, right?
yeah, true. But I guess everybody has their own choices in their life and in their own paths. Some people don't really care about these indiscretions and these things that might be on the internet for forever, because they see it as, if they can excel from here to here by just doing that at that time of their life, let's do it. I can buy a mansion in 5 years because I had so many thirsty boys throw money at me. Sure, why not? And hey, that's their life choice, I guess. Can't blame them for that, uh, mentality. But it's not mine.
Going back to what you mentioned earlier, that that an editor who didn't know what good moments on PUBG were. What is for you personally? What are the good moments on PUBG? I mean, for me as an audience watcher, I always enjoy when you have the girls on and you have an all-female squad attacking the guys who are supposed to be the better gamers. That's my personal favorites.
Mm, I
What
I
is it
do
for you?
love I do love the interaction in the games we have with the ladies. It's high energy. It's typically full of laughter and giggles, and it's nice having that kind of energy come back at you, because as a streamer, you're constantly on this high alert and this caffeine induced high, playing games, and then you team up with someone that's just like and then you try and start up a conversation like, what are you doing, what's up, where you from, how, and they just like, so either short off or just low key. And I get it, they just got from home, from work, and they're exhausted, and all they want to do is just play some games, man. But it's nice to have that high energy. I mean, the girls also come from work, but it's nice to have that, same kind of energy level. And yeah, I do enjoy a lot playing with the ladies. For me, good content is, it could be anything from a funny moment, a fail moment where I did something really stupid that made the chat laugh, to, good epic kills, or anything that can be reused as content, that's not necessarily just applicable for that live stream. Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, I I was witnessing once that you were totally pissed on one guy you played with, and you put him straight like, hey, you have to communicate better, and you have to do what I say you do, and stuff. And the chat was totally defending him, and then you had to explain to the audience like, no, um communication is important, and giving straight commands and sorting it
Yeah.
out and stuff. And
Yeah.
the
I
your community was so mad on you for being so hard on the guy. I think it was last week actually.
No,
Was fairly recent.
yeah, it wasn't last week, but yeah, it was probably recent. Um, I tend to struggle. Like I once had a roster that anybody and everybody could join up, and we would play together. And I kind of like stopped doing that over time, to a point where I'm very selective who I team up with, because reality is, once you have progressed in the game 5 years later, knowing what to do and strategic plays, and I'm very aggressive, but in a sneaky, um, analyze the situation, find the right moment to attack your opponent, and then do it. Because of my disability, my high ping disadvantage, I need to play more strategic in certain senses. And it's the worst if you are in a team and the guy doesn't communicate or doesn't verbalize certain things that are very vital to your survival. And it's frustrating, because I am a gamer, and I do sometimes play very passionately, to a point where maybe a little too passionately, um, that it's not just I'm not just doing it for the content or for the stream, but I'm immersed in it. I'm involved, and
You want
yeah,
to win.
so I want to win. I'm very competitive, and so yes, sometimes, especially if it's not someone, well, I think it was someone that's part of the community, and they just didn't communicate. There's certain things that frustrates me in PUBG. If a buddy runs on my butt, because I can't hear anything if there's just behind me, footsteps. I can't hear. It's harder to hear any like subtleties in the game sound ahead of you if there's noise behind you. Um, so there's certain things, and communication is really key. And that's why I try to defend myself to the audience, that like he could be the best skilled player, but when it comes to teaming with someone, communication is very vital. Because the kind of info you give me is crucial. And then also knowing when not to talk. When you are down, when you are knocked, don't, and if there's enemies around me, like really close quarter around me, do not keep talking over my sound, because I'm going to struggle
Is that when you say
winning that
comms?
situation. Yes. Yes, comms. And it's a known word for please keep quiet or shut the fuck up, you know. Like, do not speak in this moment, give me sound. I need to, assess the situation and fight our way out. But if the knocked teammate keeps talking, you're most likely going to die because you can't think fast without proper sound.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Well, I mean, it's super interesting for me, because as I said, I wanted to know you more as a person, and I hope I don't disappoint you by not talking so much about PUBG. In after all, um,
No.
you know, for me it's super interesting, and I guess it will be hard in a way to go back being the watcher again now that we spoke in video. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I made an upgrade, in a way. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's super interesting for me. Yeah. Super, super amazing. So let me ask you about the art streams, because there are some things I didn't really catch quite a bit, probably because I came in late to this to
Yeah.
this drawing thing. But I think you have a fundraiser for a sick
Oh yeah.
friend, connected
Uh
to the art stream. Perhaps you
yeah.
could explain that a bit, because I totally didn't get the whole picture
Yeah.
of what is that about.
I did a fundraiser about a year or so ago, probably a year and a half now, for a buddy of ours of the community. He used to be my mod, and he's an amazing person, and he used to be an amazing mod, like one of the best. And then one time, I'm not hearing from him for like a week, and it's very abnormal because he's there every single day. And so I messaged him on Discord and I tried to mail him, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, at least tell me you're okay. And then we found out that he got a heart attack, and he got into an induced coma, and he's been in the coma for a month or so. And yeah, so it was very serious, of high medical bills, and he didn't have medical aid, or insurance. So we at the time I was busy, and he's one of the people that I got to influence in trying out fluid acrylic painting. um, and at the time I was doing this art style called fluid acrylic painting. And so I took all my art works that I did, and I started an auction for him to raise money to send it his way. um yeah, and it actually did really, really, really well. The biggest problem there was the shipping. When I did, obviously I pre-calculated the shipping towards, if someone would be like, oh, how much would it be to this place? And reality is you need the specific address, and even if you have that, the online quote versus the in-store, once you actually do it, quote, is entirely different.
Weird.
And
Okay.
yeah, I got a little punished there with having to take out of my own pocket to
Wow.
fund the shipping to all these peeps. Yeah,
But is
but
he okay now? Did
that's
he improve?
he's out of the coma. He's now at home. His family's taking care of him, and he's in the process of recovering. He still has occupational therapy and physical therapy. I think he might have a stay-at-home nurse that's taking care of him and all his needs, learning how to eat and try and
Wow.
speak. And yeah, it's a big process. And being in a coma for that long, it's gonna take, like, it's a miracle that he got out of it. But it's going to take a very long time for him to become his normal self, if that's possible. Yeah.
So that shows how kind-hearted you are as a person.
I try. We've done various like fundraising drives over the years. I've done the hospital, the children's hospital in the US a few times. There's been these, gaming tournaments of PUBG, and we've raised a lot of money there. And it's like it's not my generosity, it is the community is amazing, and that's where the community really shines through, is when they come together and help out. We've done various local drives as well. The most recent one was 300 no 200 no yeah 300 burgers and 200 Gatsby's with drinks to the homeless. So
Wow.
raised so much money to give that many homeless people. And it was a 3-day stint where I had to drive around in town to find everybody and anybody that's sitting at a corner and begging and homeless. Yeah, but it was for me, that's the sweetest victory in life, is being able to see how you can lighten up someone's day. Just, you know, food, just food can really make a person's day. And yes, it might be a momentary initial thing. I have influenced that person, even just for one day. And it's very special. Yeah.
It must be very fulfilling for you to know what you can reach in the world just by playing games for an
Yes,
audience,
right.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Initially, when going into this, I was like, it's all about games. But like I said, uh, you're an influencer, um, but an influencer of life, not an influencer of products necessarily. Yes, that is a side hustle, a side, part of what I do. Um, I'm picky, though, like you stated, picky, um, very specific. But you're an influencer to people's lives. I've got so many people coming in saying thank you just for you being you, and smiling and doing what you do, even if you paint or play PUBG. You've made my day. I've had a rough day, and this has lifted me up. And it's the best kind of job you can have, is to lighten someone's day.
Mm. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, you never know who you meet in your life.
I
Okay. Wow.
I do venture into these side projects. Like I recently did a job shadow for a girl.
What is
That's
that?
job shadowing. You guys don't have job shadowing?
I've never heard of that. What
What?
is that?
So in school, when you're close to matriculating, grade 11, 12, you job shadow the careers that you want to go into. So you have to pick, like, 3 careers, and then you got to go and, contact a person in the career and follow them, do what they do, or, follow their day's routine by just, going after them, and they show you, oh, this is what I do and this is how I do it and this is what you think. And yeah, so that's job shadowing. And I had a lovely little lady. She wants to become a streamer, which was, like, okay, interesting. Uh, Not very, many in South Africa that even knows what a streamer is. And yeah, sorry, the
No
cat
problem.
is,
No problem.
Papa, come here, come here,
Good, it's
come
not
here.
live. It's not live at all.
I
Okay.
know, come here. He's like, um, yeah. So she got to see the ins and outs, and it's nice. Like, it's my time, like, giving, I'm not making anything by showing her the way, but it's hey, maybe one day she's this world famous streamer, and I got to give her the initial ropes of what to do and how to do it to grow faster. than some would that doesn't know this information. So
But that isn't the general incentive to say don't go into streaming or YouTubing right away. Get first some real education and some studies or whatever and a different background in case you
yeah.
can't do this anymore. You have a backup plan.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I did tell her because she some of the other jobs that she was shadowing was she wanted to become a psychologist. So I told her, well, you know, if you do, like that's a good thing to have is understanding psychology of people, because in the end, when you're in chat and you're communicating with people, um understanding where they're coming from and knowing how to converse certain people. Someone might come in and say, hey, it's been a really rough day, I'm sad, I'm upset, and knowing how to converse with that person, understanding relationships and building bonds is an essential part of being a streamer. And so having that under your belt is great. For me, it was also, I studied graphic design, so I've got a degree in that, and having had that helped me so much in just the background things, the offline banner, the logo, the all the things. Initially I had all those things as as a brand identity, because I already understood that, whereas someone that just you know oh, let's start streaming, it's not going to have any of those things, and either needs to pay for those things or needs to struggle on YouTube, Google. How do we? So, yes, there are various things you can do to improve your initial go. Not necessarily have to, but you learn. You learn a lot. Like hands-on is probably your best experience. I feel like certain if I had a choice to go back, if I had known I'd be a streamer today, I would not have studied for 4 years graphic design. It's too much, and a lot of it is unnecessary
Okay.
pieces and things that you need to write up and things. There are short courses that teach you exactly the same concepts and exactly the same kind of information as what a 4-year course would have done. Um, Marketing, studying marketing, knowing how social sites and things work, those are also pretty good to have. Understanding PC parts, but all these things, like I said, can be learned on the go. As you go, you Google, okay, what's wrong with my PC? Um, and it's nice to have certain people that can help you out initially. I still have a tech guy and a audio technician, and that I'm like, when I'm stuck with something and I've tried, all these, the basics, when people are like, oh, did you switch off the PC? Did you switch it back? Those basic things, when I've gone through everything, I've even Googled a little and it doesn't work, then I'm like, hey, can you help me? I'm kind of stuck. And it's nice to have those people helping me out.
I was the rude guy who asked in chat, if you are a studied graphic designer, why do you have to hire somebody making your t-shirt designs? And you were explaining that you are
Um,
not an expert in this, despite you
mm.
you studied graphic design.
Yeah, studying graphic design is like the broad of things. You learn the broad of everything. It doesn't make me a very skilled illustrator, even though we had to sit there and sketch a naked woman. Um, it still doesn't mean I am really good at that. So I have certain avenues that I'm good at, that I excel at, but I know where my weaknesses are. And sure, I could improve on those weaknesses, but I don't intend on, spending my time becoming a better illustrator. So I recognize my flaws, and because I want the best for my brand will then source out, because it's honestly, it's going to take me more time doing something that that person does so well and so efficient, that I'd rather pay that person than attempt doing it myself.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, perhaps one question left to ask is perhaps, what is your typical day before the streaming? I mean, you mentioned there are so many things besides streaming that people don't know of. Perhaps
Yeah.
tell us a bit
I tend to do those things after. I tend to do those things after stream.
After streaming. Okay.
Yes, because I sleep. So my new schedule will entail having 2 sleep schedules per day, but that's for our future. In the past, the way I've done it, I wake up like an hour sometimes before my stream, and then it's literally it's eating some food and getting coffee ready, getting myself ready, getting dressed, getting ready, set up for the stream, and then it's switching on PC, setting up all the overlays and the things, and that takes exactly an hour. And sometimes I'm like 5 minutes late, sometimes later than that, and then you have the community riling up or spamming, when is she, oh, this is not the time. So I try and be early, but anything can happen, complications happen often. But yeah, so that's about an hour of setting up, getting ready, going. I sometimes wake up earlier and go for a walk or do normal people stuff. But yeah, I tend to do an hour before I wake up, because the reason for that is because I stream over the night. When I get off is like just before sunrise or just around after sunrise, and then I want to go and walk. I like to get some fitness in because I've been sitting for many hours, and so I'm living more after work, and then by the time I get to sleep, by the time my body actually wants to shut down, I have like 6 hours before work, so that's why I wake up right before work
Okay,
needs
I
to
see.
happen. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
I have to admit, I never ever went to bed when you finished streaming. I always went to bed earlier because I was like, oh
Yeah.
my god, I need
Times.
to go sleep.
Yeah. It's obviously I stream up until very early hours of the morning, so understandably so. Yeah. So regarding content or work that I do that's behind the scenes from stream work, it could be anything. There's a lot of back and forth with the partners. Um, Currently, for example, Rode has shipped me a new product that they want me to set up, and that takes time. I need to set this thing up, um, and it is a complicated situation because it's also with a soundboard that it gets set up, a sound box that does specific things and effects and things. So it's a lot of like testing and troubleshooting and kind of um, aligning it with my stream setup, and so that the least complications occur during stream. Um, and then it's the back and forth communications with them. Also, anything from I have an offline banner that I regularly update because they're. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just as I'm coughing.
Just dying.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks
yeah,
like
I just
you need
muted
to
my
take a
microphone
break
for
quick.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. I'm sorry, just the cold getting to me.
Mm. I must say you're braving it really well. Damn, but you
Well,
must tell me
yeah.
if you want to.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I
I
so there's
just took the chance when you were talking, so I could mute the
Talking
microphone. And...
so much. Okay, she's gonna talk a lot now. Now we can cough.
Exactly. Exactly my thought.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just various things, various tasks and design tasks that need to be done and updated. And you know, this person might be talking, one of my mods might message me about a certain thing that happened during stream, and now I have to attend to that. And so yeah. It's all part of the business: marketing, managing, designing, updating, and yeah, partners.
Can you talk a bit about what your plans are for more brand awareness? I mean, you mentioned it in the stream once. That is actually the reason why I wrote to you, because you mentioned in the stream that this year you want to do more off stream, even though it will hurt you first because you will
Yeah.
be less online. But you said you think it will pay off in the long run. So are there some things that aren't a secret that you could share in this interview? I mean, don't spill the beans. I
No,
don't
no,
want
no,
that you
no,
share some
not.
secrets or something.
I'm an open book, man. I'm an open book. I just want to pay more attention because when it comes to being a streamer, a lot of what you do is streaming, and so you got say 8 hours of streaming, but once you are offline, there's no content's dead. There's no one watching. There's no one, you know, there's no money coming in, and I want to kind of take that out of the out of the picture. I want to make it a more that even when I'm sleeping, I might be earning some revenue. For example, a YouTuber, obviously, it's edited, refined content. They record it, pre-record it, and it's more premeditated content. And also, it's more obviously it's better viewing because it is refined, whereas streaming is not refined. It's just whatever happens, and there's a
Yeah,
lot of
true.
dead content in between the moments of excitement. And so as a streamer, you have to go through all that, find the bits that are happening, that's good content, and then go and edit those things and upload it to uh your YouTube or your TikTok or Instagram or whatever. Um, and that's what I mean by working more at marketing my brand better, because I'm very much always just streaming, and just streaming doesn't help. When I mentioned the Twitch discoverability, it doesn't help. Just streaming doesn't help me as a Twitch streamer. Maybe as a different platform streamer, being live all the time might be good, but
I
it
mean,
just doesn't.
Trovo has been a lot of mentioning lately from
Yeah,
the shinies, but I don't know if you want to go that route, or
yeah,
YouTube streaming or whatever. I mean, there are other
yeah.
platforms like
Yeah.
Twitch, but just not. I don't know, just different audience, perhaps.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah, I do intend on streaming on Facebook again. Um, so we'll go to that again to kind of keep the gates open for the people that are there to come perhaps over to Twitch. Twitch's contracted the partner contract with Twitch they did open that now recently, that you can stream to other platforms now, but just not simultaneously.
Yeah,
And you
I heard
can
about that.
you can stream to other platforms simultaneously, but only, I think it's Instagram or Twitter, or there's a few like TikTok. So I could be, say, live on Twitch and be like, hey guys, on Instagram, come check out my stream. So um only Instagram and I think TikTok you can be live simultaneously, but with Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, You're not allowed to be live simultaneously, but I can be live on Facebook, another time of the day, and then later be on Twitch. So it's going to be a way of like funneling um some people from Facebook to Twitch.
But then on the other hand, when would you sleep if you have 2 schedules for streaming?
Yeah, so that's why I said my new schedule is going to be somewhat different. I'm going to have 2 sleep sessions.
Wow.
And then it's like I did today. I was kind of testing it out today. Typically my plan is to wake up at a certain time, in 2 hours go live for about 6 hours at night, throughout the night, 6 hours. And then, because I would typically do 8 to 9 to 10 typically, but this time it's going to be 6 hours. Then after that, shower, food, bed. I would sleep for about 6 to 7 hours and then get up, live life like a normal person from my 9 a.m. Um, be able to go do groceries, something I can't do when I'm waking up this late typically. So I'd be able to go do groceries, do my things, and then also maybe every other day, instead of doing groceries or going for a walk or seeing friends, I could go live on Facebook, streaming for about 3 hours, and then go offline and take a little afternoon nap before my nighttime stream starts. So that's the plan.
Oh,
We'll
interesting.
see if it works well, but it's only gonna happen in like 3-4 weeks from now. But
And
it's okay if people know about it.
you mentioned YouTube. You don't really do a lot of genuine YouTube content yet. I think one of your latest video was a review of a Rode microphone or unboxing, or what was it?
Yes, it is unboxings. Yeah, I have a few recent unboxings, and it seems like that's all I'm doing now. But no, the reality is I just haven't had time. My life has been so busy. I've not had time to look at editing some good content um for YouTube. But that being said, I've done YouTube and I've had an editor editing my content for YouTube for, well, my YouTube channel has been going for over 5 years now. The problem there is YouTube is not a place where you can take a stream and edit the content and post it there. YouTube is more a place where you have premeditated content. Um, so premeditated, edited, refined kind of content, and clickbait, something that grabs the attention, that people want to watch, that's high in energy, and it's just like, one, what do you call it, moment after another. And streamers, obviously some massive streamers still get a lot of views because they're massive, but for anybody as small as myself, or anybody else smaller than this, it doesn't really work. You're just wasting your time. I've done this for 5 years. It's a waste of
Wow.
time. Um, you're not gonna get any revenue really from that. It's not worth it. Not worth it. When it comes to YouTube, I feel like you need to, like, the reviews, they're good, they're informative, they help people make good decisions. Sure, those are good. And perhaps, good skits or funny moments, or maybe some memeing or something would be better for YouTube, not stream like content that's reused for YouTube. No.
Did you consider cooperating with big YouTubers, making corporations? I mean, that is during the pandemic. That is what many German comedians did. They
Yeah.
partnered with gaming YouTubers. I'm like, oh my god, you have this 65 years old German comedian working together with a 20 years old gamer YouTuber, and it worked for some reason
Yeah,
because there was
I've
some chemistry and stuff. And I think perhaps you, as a Twitch streamer, could work together with a YouTuber and get some beneficial content out of it, you know?
yeah, it's viable. One can do that. It's just a matter of what the content entails, and also the biggest problem there is, especially if it's a bigger YouTuber, because you're like big YouTubers, they're not gonna respond to some streamer that you know.
That's
I
that's funny because I had the exact same thought when I emailed you. I had this big this big Twitch streamer from South Africa. Why
I'm not.
should she even reply to my email? And that is why that is why I wrote in the subject line Nefcom from the stream chat here, because I was hoping that despite we are just a small publication, you would get back to me just because you recognize my name. That was why
Yeah,
I wrote the
yeah.
email I wrote. I
Well,
wanted.
true. I did respond because you were in my stream rather than you being somebody from somewhere. It's true.
So
And
you so it's
the
funny that you
categories.
say so it's funny that you say big that you say you are a small streamer, because it doesn't feel
Well,
like that to me.
yeah, I'm one of the biggest in South Africa, sure. But in the whole scope of the world, I'm not a big streamer. I'm one of the tiny ones. Yeah, some months it's like, oh, because even though I make a lot of money compared to anybody locally in South Africa that has a around my same age, there I probably make more than somebody around my own age. Um, but the reality is we are all struggling in South Africa, so that's not really a good comparison to do. Um, I am a big streamer in South Africa, but it's because it's very new and there aren't many out there, and it's still a growing trend, and one day I will be superseded by many other bigger ones that um, clearly knows how to navigate this streaming world better than me. But yeah, so I compare myself with every the whole world, and no, I'm tiny. Those guys, they make what I make in a year, they make in one day, and I'm like, oh my goodness, how do you do? So yes, we're working towards a a, a tenth of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you have to understand. For me, I was nervous for weeks. You know, I was like, "Oh, Joven is wanting to talk to me. Oh my God, really?
Oh,
You know,
no, don't
wow.
be
Yeah,
nervous.
I
Oh
was so
man.
nervous, because I was like, wow. And then you were like, yeah, but now I got a sore cold, and we have to postpone. I was like,
Cold sore.
cold sore. Like, oh my
Mm.
God, that's such a pity. And then I saw you in the stream the other days, like you really had it tinted with makeup and stuff, And
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah,
Try
I
and
totally
nerf it.
understand. Totally understand. Yeah. Well, so it's interesting how self-reflected you are. You don't you don't think of yourself like being a VIP, you
Yeah, no,
know?
no, no. I'm just another person on the planet, and I don't because I've experienced the whole fame thing. People like, oh, can I have a? I just like recently got someone wanting my autograph. Came in stream and was like, "Can I have your autograph?" And I'm like, "What?
Why?
Why?
Yeah,
Why do you
exactly.
why do you want my hand? Are you gonna like plagiarize my, are you gonna use my signature somewhere? Like, why do you want my signature? Why? It's so weird. It's absurd. Honestly, I don't like the whole fame mentality that because this person has 10,000 followers or even 1,000,000 followers makes them somewhat better than any other person. I don't like that. I like, you can have 10,000 or 1,000,000 or 1,000,000,000. It doesn't make you a good person, or that you have good morals, or that you have really anything good to say or do in this life. Like, actions speak louder than the amount of followers that you have. So I if I were to look at streamers out there, or at least, try and find someone to look up to admire, it isn't it's probably not going to be found on streaming, because a lot of that is superficial, a lot of that is fake and unauthentic. I would look at, leaders in the world that inspire and that lead properly. Those are the people I that might have 5,000 followers, but it's those people that I look up to. It's got nothing to do with how popular you are.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's what I said before the interview. You are authentic to me, and that's why I enjoy watching you, because you don't put up
Thank
a
you.
personality just for the stream, you know.
Thanks.
And that's why in this email conversation between the two of us, it was shining through, like this personality was like, okay, yeah, I see where she's coming from. Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, like for me, it's not because you're massive, that's why I'm teaming up with you. That's why I'm collaborating. It's not the right mentality to have. And like I said, it was literally probably some part was luck, because I finally got through
Awesome.
some of my emails. I was like, okay, let's respond to some. Yeah.
And for the better or the worse, now you have the face to the name, you know.
Yes. Now I
Yeah.
know who you are. I
Exactly.
know who you are.
Now I can't
could be
hide
like,
anymore. Yeah.
I know who you are. When I see you in chat, I'm gonna be like,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Anyway, before we let you go, where can people find you?
I stream to Twitch. The Facebook page with 90,000 plus followers is just sitting there, and I need the, behind the scenes time to edit and to fix and to have something going there. Or Twitter. I'm JowyBear.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Cheers.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.